it was given them by the Greeks. So they didn't call themselves Phoenicians. That's the point. They didn't call themselves Phoenicians. They were called the Phoenicians. And the Phoenicians refer to call themselves Canaanites, and their country Canaan, because that's their forefather. The land of Canaan, that's a man, his land, right? And it explains stuff also, what the word Tyre means, and what the word Phoenician means. Phoenician, right? As for the name Phoenicia, it comes from the Greek Phoinike, something like that, which share roots with the word Phoenice or Phoenix, a term that is to the ancient Greeks connoted blood red and purple. But why were they called that? Well, let me see something. Wait. Yeah, sorry, man. I don't know, man. It's tripping. I think I know why. Because if I click on it and stuff like that, it's just all of a sudden gonna trip up. See, it trips up. But no worries. Go here. Now it says here Tyre, right? Which goes into, the Phoenicians. The Tyrians were known as workers in dye from the shell of the Murex shellfish, which is this thing. Now you have pink, purple ones, you have pink ones, and then they could make these type of clothings and stuff like that. They call it Tyrian purple, which is actually Canaanite purple. And they had that. And they had a whole region all locked down here. It came from here because they was doing a lot of merchandise, and that's the same thing that you would read in the book of Ezekiel. No, where was I again? Yeah, Ezekiel 28, when it says that thou hast been in Eden, the garden of the Heavenly Father. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sarcius, topaz, and diamonds, and the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrans and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou was created. So the Most High created him like that, to be able to do all these wonderful things. Until this day, these Edomites are glorifying these Canaanites and stuff like that, especially their gods and stuff like that, right? But anyway, this is the region where you had the purple being dispersed toward, because there was great businessmen. They had a lot of merchandise there, and they was very wise to do these type of things compared to all the other heathen nations. He was the greatest at that time. This purple dye was highly valued and held royal connotations in the ancient world. It also gave the Phoenicians their name from the Greeks, Phoinikes or Phoinikes, whatever, Phoinikes, which means purple people. Now, you have people that are so dark they're called purple, but it actually has a meaning. It goes to the fact of their merchandise. They called them purple people because they're the ones that had purple compared to all the other people upon the planet Earth. Yeah, they didn't come near close to, the Phoenicians, so-called Phoenicians, the Canaanites. But just like how you have everybody and their mama knows that German cars are very good cars. They would last you for decades. And a Japanese car also, I forgot the name, I think it was Toyota or something like that. It's also a very good car, and all around the world they know this. It's like nobody can make them better than the German cars. Why? Well, they have a special gift from the Heavenly Father. I don't know. They just do it. Their cars is better than the American cars. I'll tell you that. The city-state was the most powerful in all of Phoenicia in Canaan, actually, after surpassing its sister state, Sidon, which is also a Canaanite, and you can read that in the book of Genesis. I wanted to say where. Well, here. Canaan begat Sidon, his first, and also Hamath, and yeah, Sidon and Tyre. Sidon and Tyre are Canaanites, you know, they're Canaanites, right? So, anyway, so they spoke that language, right? The Syrian language, which is the same language that we understood. Why did we understand it? Because of Laban and Rebecca, and we understood that language. But the king of Assyria also spoke that language. Why? Well, because because where is it? Because they're brothers. Esau also spoke Hebrew, and then what did he do? Canaanites. So that's the language that they also spoke, right? And wrote. And then Esau, Abraham taught Esau this language also, how to write it and speak it. And then Esau moved away from us, just like how Abraham moved away from Aram, the Assyrians. He moved away from them. And then Esau moved away from us and started basically the Greek Empire. Then what did he do? He changed it. Look, the he changed it to this. The ba, he changed it to this. The da, he changed it to this. This is Greek da, the so-called the da from the Hebrew. The no, ba ga. Sorry, ga. Ga. This is ga. This is da, which is how you spell David. Dawad or dawada, how you want to pronounce it. You know, tomato. This is the ha, and then in the Greek it's like this. And this is the wa, and then the Greek is the y. This is the za, and then in the Greek it looks like the I. So basically what he did was he kind of changed the words and then made his own language. Well, that's the same thing that the Assyrians did down the line to separate themselves from the Assyrians, which is Ashur. Right. I hope you get that. So, let me do it here again. These people are the people of Rebecca, Aram. The people of Laban, Aram, which is also Syria or Syrian. These people, I'm not 100% sure, but they are. Wait, let me go here. So, what do they do? Well, he also said that he spoke Aramaic. Well, let's get that in the scriptures right now. It says here, Hebrew tongue, Acts chapter 26, verse 14. So I'll get that in the Hebrew here. Acts 26:14. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. Basically, you're kicking against something sharp. You're going to hurt yourself. But yeah, so if you click on this word, it says Hebrew, right? G1446. So G1446, the Hebrew language, the Hebrew language. Not that, however, in which the Old Testament was written, but the Chaldee. That's what they say. Are you believing the devil? I wouldn't believe in the devil if I was you, because they're going to give you hints to make you see, like, what are you talking about, man? Can you prove this? Because the caucus is all about, there's no evidence that states that this is this. And you got niggas saying the same thing as they do. But as soon as the cave monkey just said something, they just roll with it. They'd be like, well, we don't need proof. The white man, what? Well, so where's the proof for this? Now, I just gave you examples that we did know how to speak their language and understand it, yes. But where's the proof that Yahawashi actually did that? You can't say that. Well, you can say whatever you want, but you can't show me that. But anyway, I'll show you another thing, which at that time of Yahawashi and the apostles had superseded it in Palestine. So supersede means basically it replaced it, take the place. Supplant. Jacob means supplant. Anyway, so what superseded it? The language that they say? Yeah, I don't go off of that. You know why? Because if you go to the strong definition help, it says here, Greek 1443. And this is Greek 1446. Okay, so this is the root word, what they say that he was speaking. Okay, so I click on it. What does it say? Eber. Who's Eber? Eber is Gen 10. Yeah. Yeah, I know where it is, but let me put this one. It's more. It's not more better, but it's I like it more. Now Eber. Okay. And Gen 10 and what was it again? Here, 21. Okay. Damn it, it's going slow. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder. Unto him were children born. So, yeah, he's the oldest one. Shem is the oldest. He's the elder. Okay, let me see. Okay, so the father of Eber. But here they jumped the gun because, they just mentioned him. But it was Arphaxad that actually got Heber. And Heber is still the son of Shem. So all these people here are Shemites. And they spoke the Shemitic language. Even though nowadays they speak another language, it's still Shemitic. Because they come from Shem. It doesn't matter. If I just speak freaking Dutch, and the Dutch were from Shem, I'm just giving you an example, and it's not the same as any other language in Europe, it's still from the Shemitic language, because we are from Shem, so it's still from him. Anyway, so yeah, that part. So Arphaxad show Eber. So what did they just tell you there? What did they just tell? Check this out. They say that, They say that the root word is that, which is here Eber or Hebrew, the region beyond. Okay. So now going back to over here, which is Greek 1446. It says whatever. From Greek 144. So it comes from this, right? This it says it right here. Hebrews, the Hebrew or Jewish child. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah? It's just like how you would say Hamashiach. That's not what it said. It actually says Mashiach. That's Hebrew. Hamashiach is the Messiah, and it's Jiddish. It's shittish. It's their bullshit. Here, Messiah. Hebrew 4899. Mashayach. Mashayach. So if you say Mashiach, you're speaking Yiddish. That's what you're speaking Yiddish translated into the English. That's what it is. It doesn't say Mashiach here. It doesn't say that. It clearly says Mashayach. So it says this. Mashayach. So how do you say it? You say an Mashayach. That's what it says. Mashayach. You could say Mashayaha if you want to, but that's not it. With the Hebrew, you most of the time the last words, the last vowels, you cut them off. So Mashayach. This is the Yiddish bullshit. That's their bullshit. I'm not pronouncing that way. Mashiach. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I hate you guts. That's why I don't say shalom, because I'm looking at that like there's no O in the Hebrew, so I'm not saying that. And I don't want to be associated with you. I on purpose pronounce it very clear. Shalawam. Shalawam. Yeah, so that you know I'm not trying to be you. It's similar, but I'm not you. Yeah. Just like that clown You know, you could put the wig on, the Afro wig, but I know that the original is straight hair, orange hair at that too, and sometimes there was bald too, because a bald, baldy is something that people would mock. Baldy. It has nothing to do with that you're actually bald. In the how you call that thing? In the Middle Eastern thing, bald on record in politeness is a circumstance of but I read about it. I read that it doesn't mean that you're actually bald. You can have a full set of hair, but they still call you a baldy because they jest you. Now here, cool what? Insult. Let me see. According to Oriental ideas, Oriental, which is from the East, which is where we come from, the extremist assault which have been afflicted, cutting a person's beard off and stuff like that, but it was actually insulting a man by calling him bald as sexual harassment. No, wait, bald, full set of hair, man. Is not a sign that he's bald. It's just an insult of that. Oh man. Anyway, I did a video about that. That it was more an insult instead of there was a man that had full set of hair, and they called him bald because they wanted it's like calling him an asshole or something like that. He's not a anus hole. He's not that. I mean, he clearly isn't that. It's a figure of speech, and that's a Middle Eastern thing. Maybe it says it here. Hmm. Anyway, if I find the video, I'll upload it because I can't find it off of Google just like that right here. Anyway, so yeah, so okay, the Hebrew tongue, Eber, which is what it comes from. Hebrew language. Mm-hmm. Right, so I typed in Hebrew language, right? Oh, sorry, let me go here. Hebrew, which is where we come from, basically, which is Ibar, by the way, here. Eber, which is Ibar. So you spell it like this. Oh, right, it's this. Sorry. Ibar. 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 Which is what Abraham the Hebrew was called. Abraham the Hebrew. So this is 5677. Genesis 14 and 13. Genesis 14:13. Abraham the Hebrew. This is Hebrew 5680. Ibadia. It's the same thing, as you can see here. So Eber is Hebrew 5677. Here. Hebrew 5677, Ibar, and then you have Ibar Ya. It's the same thing. It says Eber or Heber, the region beyond, and Ibaria, Hebrew, one from beyond. It's the same thing. Right. So it's the same thing. This is my. You could say this is my Hebrew. So look here. Here. So this is the word here. Sorry. This is the word Heber. Eber, which is Hebrew 5677, and which is Hebrew 5677, and this is the Ibaria, which is Abraham the Hebrew, which is Ibaria, which is Hebrew 5680. But the root word of the etymology, and what does etymology mean? The study of the origin of words and the way in which their meanings have changed throughout history. So etymology, where it comes from, is Hebrew 5677, which is Ibar. The last little thing just removes itself here. This one, it just removes itself if you click on that one, which has another root word which goes on to the region beyond Ibar, and this is the root word. It still goes to the root words and stuff like that, region across, beyond, wind, Passover, wind, all that there. But anyway, Ibaria, it's the same thing. So Abram the Hebrew, it's what he was called. But yeah, so Ashur, which is Assyria, spoke the same thing as this. But later on, they kind of made a difference in pronunciations, just like America English and then England English. It's the same language, but in America, they have different words for different things, but it's the same word. For example, I don't want to say that word, but no. Let me leave that. It's a cigarette. In England, if you say that word, let's burn a gaffle, a gaff. Turn that word around. Then they're talking about a cigarette, which goes to the bundle of sticks, which goes to Sodom and Gomorrah, which goes to that you need to burn it. You need to burn something. That's what it goes back to. That cigarette, burn it. Yeah, from Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm literally not making this up. Let me show you. I'm literally not making it up. Here, bundle of twigs, bound up, bundle of sticks. Right? Actually, you spell it with one G. It began with one G. And what does that mean? That means you have a bundle of sticks. Right? See? I just typed in bundle of sticks. I didn't type in nothing else. It's called this. Why? Because it says toss the bundle of sticks in the fire, but then you use the other word. You use this word. Toss the bundle of stick in the fire. Why? Because that is what Sodom and Gomorrah represents. So if I call you a bundle of sticks, I'm implying that you need to be burned. And why? Because Sodom and Gomorrah was burned. Well, why were they burned? Well, they was doing things that is not lawful for a man to do with another man. And with animals. All those things they were doing, let me see if you're going to see it here. Here. Biblical faith. So, a bundle of sticks on the suggestion of the biblical faith. Yeah, it is on that suggestion, yeah, of the biblical faith of Sodom and Gomorrah. So, what do you do with a bundle of sticks? You toss it in the fire. That's why they are very offended at that word, but they don't know it. They don't know it, but the elites know. Or they damn sure know. I mean, they wrote this, didn't they? They have the dictionaries, don't they? Do they teach the common people in the schools? No. The children nowadays can't even spell. They can't even spell. Why can't students spell anymore? Because the teachers don't teach them, and this subreddit is called Teachers. Funny as hell. Why do children of today find it hard to spell correctly? Because they're not being taught. How do you handle an eighth grader who can't spell? Education is rapidly declining and no one wants to talk about it. America's fallen, man. Oh, yeah, here. Baby, they say that this is work from an eighth grader. Yeah. These eighth graders can't write. They can't write. This is a spelling test from an eighth grader. Class parents, please do better. They can't. Because they're stupid. They're being made dumb. Dumber than they already are. Alright. Light, drive, face, showed, serving. What? Okay, whatever. That's test today. Yeah, these kids can't spell, so it's funny, and yeah, that's what's up. But they're getting dumber and dumber as we speak. But Hebrew, so I clicked on the word Hebrew language, right, which is this then. And then I clicked on images, and what do they give me? The Assyrian. Okay, but it also says here. Wait, here. Hebrew language. Wait, I clicked it here, and it said something else. Modern Hebrew. So I clicked on. Oh yeah, that's what it was. What I did. I saw it here. Here. The amazing Hebrew meaning and etymology. Okay, so it says here we'll discuss the original Hebrew, right? So I clicked on this, of course, and then they gave you the Assyrian Hebrew. I don't want that. That's not real. So I clicked on original Hebrew, and of course, and then I clicked on this, and what do you get? You get this. This is what they was talking. So Eber, when it says that Yahawashi was talking their Armenian, no. Yahawashi was speaking Hebrew, the original Hebrew, which is the one that I showed you that how it is written here. This one, and this is the Assyrian Hebrew, which yeah, it's Assyrian. She assured it is Assyrian. They spoke that language, those two, and then, but this one is what we spoke. We wrote this one. Let me see something here. This one is what we wrote. This one, and then later they had that one. This Assyrians, and not later, but anyway, they had it before. And this is the modern one of this one. This is what they wrote and spoke. Just like how you have English from America, English from Guyana, English from Australia, English from Scotland, English from England, all that there. English from Guyana, English from Jamaica. They're all English, but they're different. Same thing that we had, right? So, the original Hebrew is this. And what did Yahawashi speak? That. But could we speak the other one? The ones that they say that he spoke. Aramean. Armenian, Aramaic, Aramaic. Yes, we could. So it's not something that's far-fetched. I just don't believe the goddamn devil. I don't want to. And you shouldn't either. I don't. What show proof. Y'all always talking about, well, the evidence speaks against it, and the evidence says, science says that. Where? Can you give me examples of facts? I give you examples of facts. Yes, we were able to speak it. Yes, we were able to understand it. But we didn't speak it because Jacob clearly was speaking. He said, no, Galilee. I'm not going to call it what you called it. I understand what you just said right there, but I'm not going to call it that. I'm going to call it Galilee because that's what I want. That's what we speak. Right. As you can see here, we were able to understand it. Right. And yeah. We were able to understand it, but yeah, we spoke another language. We spoke Hebrew, the Jewish language. That's what we spoke, right? And let me see something here. 28. Jewish language 30, Hebrew 30 and 66. Hebrew. That's what we spoke. Yahawadah. Yahawadayath. 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 Which goes into Yahawada. Yeah, Judah. We spoke Yahawadayath. Right. Judith is Yahawadayath. It's feminine. The language sometimes, they when they speak about the people, they speak the woman word because we are a woman. Like Judah is a she, Israel is a she as a nation, and the language also sometimes is referred to as a girl. Okay, but that's a whole nother story because I'm gonna confuse you now. So I'll leave it at that. But do remember that sometimes nations are called after a woman. Like, for example, here, let me see, 1 Kings chapter 11, when it says Edomites. Okay, Hebrew, so it says here, but 1 Kings 11:1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites. Okay, so I just clicked on Edomites, right, which says Hebrew 130. Hebrew 130, Hebrew 130. Right, so it says that here, the country is more fully called Aran Adam. Okay. So it says here, the feminine when it comes to the land. So when it comes to the land, the name changed from male to feminine, which is, let me see. It's gonna say it here somewhere. Here, look. Here it says Banadam. Sorry. Here it says Banya Adam, which is sons of okay. The nation is called more fully Banya Adam, sons of Edom. Poetically, it's called Bath Adam. So Ban, yeah, in this case is Banya, but it's actually Ban Adam, is son of Edom, and Bath Adam is daughter of Edom. So yeah, so when it stands alone, it is of a masculine gender, where it denounces the people, of the feminine when it means the land. So basically, the land is called, the land is a people, and then the people are manly, but it changed also. How? Well, that's why I don't want to confuse people, because this thing is kind of confusing and I don't want to actually talk about it, but sometimes I need to say it. Actually, it's 3, so that you can know that it exists. So Lord willing, he will make you understand when it is time to apply it and when it is time to not apply it. Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 7. And I said, after she had done all these things, turn unto me, but she returned not. And her treacherous sister Judah saw it. So now it is applied to the people as a she. But sometimes the land is a she, and the people are men. Yeah. And then sometimes it's the other way around. The land is a she, but the people are she also. Because Israel was called a woman also. As you can see here, backsliding Israel committed adultery. I had put her away. So Israel is a her to the Most High. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not. So Judah is also a woman compared, in the eyes of the Most High. Sometimes it says, the daughter of my people. That's talking about the men. I hope I didn't say anything to make you confused. Sorry. Right. Okay. So let me go here again. I know I go all over the place. I'm sorry about that. I said because I said that they are our judges, and they are because the Lord is. I'll make another video concerning this thing, but I'll read it here again. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. That's one of the reasons why Esau kicks the man out the house and gives the females the thing so that he can rob you. How? Well, he's gonna basically teach you can't teach your son how to be a man, so you're gonna fuck up the whole family. That's robbery in itself. Because I know that you're gonna get destroyed. That's robbery because you're not gonna have holding stuff. You're not gonna have ownership. You're not gonna have inheritance, because the father is the one that instills those type of mannerisms on the son. He's gonna make the son want to. He's gonna create in the mind of the son. You need to have substance. You need to have your inheritance. You need to have pride for the family's name. You need to have honor in the family's name. You need to have this. You need to have that. You need to have your own substance. You need to have your own land. You need to have your own this from me. You need to have this and that. But the women, they're just going to be like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to send him to school. The caucus man is going to teach my son. Go to school. Always, you know you're dark skinned, so you always need to do your best twice as much as all the other white kids. Okay? Just go out there and show with the white man that you are able to learn from him. Okay, baby? Okay, now, go to school, okay? That's what your mother is doing. Yeah, a dummy. But the father's gonna be like, fuck that dude. You need to learn from me. What kind of bullshit the devils be learning you in school? What is that on your paper? What? Pink nails? What? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be more resistant. Just like King Hezekiah. He was resistant against the Syrians too, if you read that chapter. But later we lost. But anyway, he still was resistant. And in desolation, which shall come from far, to whom will ye flee for help? Eh? To whom? And where will ye leave your glory? Nowhere. Without me, they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. Because if we don't have the Heavenly Father, we're going to lose. For all this anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Whose hand? The hand of the Lord. And what is his hand? O Assyrian, which is Asshur, the rod of mine anger. So who's the anger of the Lord? These guys. Well, in this moment, because the other scriptures, you had the Edomites were the anger of the Lord. You had the Canaanites were the anger of the Lord. You had the Philistines, which was Mizraim, which were the anger of the Lord. You had the Syrians, so not this one, Asshur, but the Syrians themselves. Those were the anger of the Lord. Sometimes you had the Egyptians in first Ezra chapter 1. The Egyptians, Mizraim, they were, well, I just already said that, but I said it in the form of Philistines. Yeah, but those Egyptians, the Pharaoh people, they didn't call themselves Philistines, you know. That was a different, that was one of their children. The Philistines were one of their children. Genesis 10 explains that. Anyway, right. So basically these heathen nations, but in this chapter, it's Assyria. But modern day Assyria is associated with, modern day Assyria is Esau, because these people don't rule over us like that no more. Esau does. So this is now for him. So it says here, O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. So they're going to whoop our asses with, it's the Lord. They're the ones that judged us. Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 31. For their rock is not as our rock, our enemies themselves being judges, because we are being judged by our enemies. And who is allowing them to come and do those things? The Lord. I will send him against an hypocritical nation. Who is going to be sent against the hypocritical nation? Assyrian, yeah, it's the same. And against the people of my wrath will I give him charge. Who's going to be given charge? the kings of Assyria. To do who? To do the Israelites in, because we are that hypocritical nation. We say God, God this, but are straight up demonic people. Look at them in the churches right now. They're screaming the Jesus, love, but they're doing wicked stuff on the side, eating on pork. Hypocritical. It says it right there, don't do it. And they still do it. Yeah, you a hypocrite. To take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread down like the mire. Yeah, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. That's what the Lord allowed the Assyrians to do to us. Howbeit, here it comes, he meaneth not so. Neither does his heart think so. But it is in his heart to destroy and cut off nations, not a few. So the Lord is about that punishment. He doesn't want to cut off exterminate the Israelites, but you have been sold to the nations not for your utter destruction, but because you moved the wrath, the Heavenly Father to wrath. Baruch chapter 4, if I'm correct, and 6. For he saith, are not my princes altogether kings? Yes, they are. Yashalallah. They're actually kings, but he prince of God. Well, if you're a prince, then what are you later on when your father dies? The king. And we're going to be a nation of kings and priests anyway. So going on. Is not Kalno as Carchemish, which are places. You know, Carchemish is here next to Haran. These were powerful places. I'll break that down in another chapter, in another video. Sorry. Is not Hamath as Arpad, which is another powerful place. Is not Samaria as Damascus, which is another powerful place. And the gods that they was worshiping at those times and stuff like that. As my hand had found the kingdoms of the idols, which the idols they was worshiping, and the Lord found it and smacked them around, and whose graven images did excel them of Jerusalem and of Samaria. So their idols that they had made them very powerful. Actually, they were strong, man, because they have Satan. You can't fight Satan unless the Lord is with you. Shall I not, as I have done unto Samaria and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols? Yeah, because Israel, the 10 tribes, they fell first. And then Jerusalem, the other 3 tribes were there, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They're going to fall also. But the Lord is giving an example like, are these people not strong? Weren't they strong with their idols and stuff like that? Now you saw their strength. Now you want to go worship them too? Don't you think I'm going to beat you up too? Just like I did the other tribes, the other 10 tribes, just like I did them. Don't you think I'm going to do the same thing to you too, Judah? You think not? 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when Yahweh had performed his whole work upon Zion, Mount Zion, and Jerusalem, so he's going to destroy the freaking stuffings out of us. After that, when he has enjoyed his whole work, because he, as I love to, so let me see. I'd love to bring you up. So the Lord said that as I love to oh, I think it's here. Deuteronomy 26 and 63. And it shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to nothing to north. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. So he had joy in bringing us up to make us beautiful. And he has the same joy to bust us open again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? So you had Hosea chapter 6 also goes into that. Hosea 6:1. Come, let us return unto Yahweh, for he had torn, he ripped us up, and he will heal us. He had smitten, he beat us up, and he will bind us up again. He's going to fix us up again. He's the one that did that, right? So, Isaiah 10:12. Wherefore it shall Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord had performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I was just thinking about something, Baruch. No, it says that for ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, other destruction, but because you moved the Heavenly Father to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies. And they that hated them ruled over them. Psalms 106 and 41. And 40. Therefore the wrath of the Lord was kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Yeah, that's what the Lord did.